Hello and welcome to the Tuesday night 7 p.m. Eastern Twitch stream of Adventure Highway. My name is Blake Komar and I am the Dungeon Master. I'd like to introduce some of our players playing characters today. We'll start with the box right next to my face on the screen. We've got Sarah. Tell us about yourself and your character.
Okie dokie. Hi, my name's Sarah Massa, and I play Carlotta Tealeaf, also known as Carl. She is a halfling gunslinger who is now the mother of a of a baby manticore named Eugene, and we'll see how that goes today.
Love it. He's gonna have a good upbringing, I think. How can anything go wrong in Ysgard during Ragnarok? Right next to Sarah, we have Kyle. A little about yourself and your character.
Hi, my name is Kyle Lawson. I am playing Brogan Naked Eye, the Dragonborn monk who is the greatest sleuth to ever live in any of the realms, as he has now been in multiple, three to be exact, so no one can compete against that. He will surely do all wonderful things today and make no mistakes, as is his motto.
Very nice. And if no one can compete, honestly, that I think that was a challenge given out. Competitors, step up, do it, do it. Nick, a little about yourself and your character.
I play Steve Froman, barbarian, former deli manager. Just kind of a regular guy that got whipped up in all of this mess. Though he does have an unerring confidence about himself, and it proves him wrong a lot. But we try.
Best horse in the game.
He does have the best horse in the game.
Yeah, you traded up apparently.
I did. Yeah, I traded in my
It's
old
my
model.
horse now. Me.
Brittany's
and Zari's
taking care
horse.
of it for me.
Argyle, I'm tossing you in the trash.
And last but certainly not least, Brittany. Tell us about yourself and your character.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany Reikma. I played the Battlesmith Artificer Zari, and she has decided to become a vegetarian last campaign because she kept eating weird stuff. First it was a wizard. It's a freaking manticore.
Yeah.
Brogan looks away as he ate the wizard and made the food that made everyone sick. Totally not his fault. He is the greatest in the three realms, and we know it.
As well, that would actually bring us to where we start off our day as our adventuring party in the cave as the sun comes up. After a fantastic night of food and full night's sleep, it's rare to get this well of a night's sleep, especially after the amount of manicore you had eaten. It was all of your essential fresh kill to actually begin with. So it's like if you eat what you kill, I guess there's nothing closer to the circle of life in that respect. And as I guess it would be Carl and Brogan were sleeping next to each other with baby Eugene in between. I would like each of you to roll me a d20. The lowest roll will be the subject of this.
Oh Lord.
You're 100% hoping it's me.
So lowest roll, Brogan. As Brogan Naked Eye is waking up, you wake up to on your neck is just with little paws and tiny little cute little lion paws and tiny little baby human mouth is just gnawing near your jugular, which is waking you up as it's just gnawing near your jugular. And that's
Lucky
how we
for
start the
me,
day.
I am made of scales, so I'm sure he is just gnawing and I am fine. I will scoop Eugene up like a child if you are watching on Twitch or on the YouTube and just hold him in front of my face and be like, how's my little Eugene? How's he doing?
And you see, as it's just trying to bite at you. But I mean, that could be love. Could be love.
If he's hungry, I think there's still chunks of his dad left over from last night.
I was gonna say, I reach over to the food and I go to put it in his mouth and see if he wants to eat it. 100%.
As you do, you look over and you start to see everyone else waking up as the sun rises, and you see Mama Manticore sitting around. Says, "You all full? It must be time for you to get on. I don't have enough manicore to feed everyone. We're gonna have to start taking kids and cooking them."
Oh no, we'll be all right. And I kind of cradle Eugene like you do a kitten, and I kind of try to feed him some food and see if he's all about it.
Oh, he eats. Hell yeah, he eats.
Oh, I'm super excited. I'm like, no, we're good. Thanks. We're gonna make our way. You were real swell though. Loved every bit of it. Definitely not the punching you in the face part. Look away real fast.
Says, well, you all have been wonderful guests. Make sure to take a little meat for the road. And if you could, before you leave, clean up after the horses, because I'd really not rather not have to clean up after your horses.
You guys look over and you see Slegnir like getting up for the morning, and like a blanket just shifts off him, and Steve is still like sound asleep on the back of the horse, just in whitey tighties, still snoring very, very loudly on the back of this huge horse.
Does he stand up away from a giant pile of horse poop? Because he's the size of two horses.
I was gonna say he's the size of a bus, right? So like that's a big turd we've got to take care of.
All right, I'm gonna walk over to Carla and be like, "So here's Eugene." Kind of hand him to her.
Thank you kindly.
And be like, "All right."
Kind of hold him like a baby and a cat, just like this.
And he immediately latches onto your shoulder with his teeth. It's a tiny bit of gnaw, but you can tell it's like if it was like an actual full size, it would be gnawing and trying to eat you. But it's just it's baby size, so it's just teething on your shoulder.
This game, my jacket's made out of leather. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I then go and I grab my quarterstaff and I go to Papa Manticore and I rip some hair off him and I tie it around the quarterstaff with some rope to make a broom and I just start sweeping the horse crap out of here like a real gentleman.
And as you're sweeping it out, and you would still see Steve on the back of this, and Mama Manticore walks over and says, your big boy friend over there, you want to wake him and get him decent for the morning?
Yeah, he's definitely my boyfriend. Thank you so much for that. I slap Steve across the ass as hard as I can, and I'm like, "Hey, Steve."
I wake up, and clearly this is not an uncommon occurrence at this point. So Steve kind of wakes up, like he's like awkwardly scratching at his belly button in every way that you hope he wouldn't, and he jumps down off the horse.
Steve, would you do me a favor and observe Rule 1 of the house from the very, very beginning and wear pants?
I just woke up. I don't know what you want from me. I literally could not have gotten pants on in the amount of time I've been awake. Give me a second.
I'm so proud of you, Steve, and I will take the little makeshift broom and sweep it on his butt a little bit after it's got no crap on it, not with the crap on it.
That's the equivalent of a shower.
Steve will start getting dressed.
I'm like,
petting
so much,
petting his comb over down a little bit.
Go back to sweeping after I wipe Steve's butt with the weird manticore broom.
Love it. As clearly he is observing Rule 1 of the house now that he is putting his pants back on. I can imagine Steve in a scenario back at the house with Rule 1. As soon as he takes his clothes off to shower, just like literally the speakers and everyone in the house start, Rule 1, Steve! Rule 1! Like,
I imagine Phil running out to him being like, yeah, Rule 1 sucks. And they're both like, we're pantsless.
Yeah. No, it's true. Phil, I can imagine Steve trying to follow this rule to the best of his ability, yet everyone's still treating him like Phil, who doesn't care for the rule whatsoever.
Yeah, no, 100%. Steve can't help who he is,
like
people.
He's doing his best. Something that had all the rules on it.
Oh yeah, Zari made it.
That's just like, this is Rule 1, this is Rule 2. It goes over someone's head when they have a genius idea and gets the light bulb. Bing.
I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna look around at all these people judging me and think, do you all honestly sleep with your pants on?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see
they're
all
called
of them wearing
pants and they're comfortable, Steve.
How did you get into the sweatpants? You had to be pantsless at some point.
Well, by that logic, everyone's pantsless. Look at Eugene. You know what? I'm gonna go back to sweeping. I can't do this right now. I'm trying to take care of stuff.
I'm getting dressed the rest of the way, like my button-up shirt. I'm doing the buttons, and I'm talking to Slegnir and saying, Jesus, we're gonna have to make you 6 pairs of pants at this rate.
Well, it's actually 4. He has 8 legs.
It's true. Yeah, 4 pairs of pants.
We're gonna make them fancy pants, though.
Yeah, of course.
You hear a voice in the back of your head as you're pulling your pants up resentfully, Steve, that you're just misunderstood. You hear a voice in the back of your head that says, wait, hold on. Yeah, hold the hollandaise. And, Steve.
I knew it.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Steve. You must move with the most urgency.
This is as much urgency as I can. What's going on?
I said urgency, Steve. There's a train to catch.
I'm at full steam ahead right now.
Steve, This is dire.
What?
This is, you must catch this train for
Okay.
the realms. Hold on, Steve. Hold on. No, I told you hold the hollandaise. Yes,
I'm just
Steve.
saying, wherever you keep eating at, you need to like give them a 1-star Yelp review. It sounds awful.
Worst eggs Benedict ever.
I'm having this
You were
argument
thinking
out
Eggs
loud.
Benedict
I'm
too.
assuming,
I'm
and you
like,
guys are
he's
just
gonna
hearing
come
me
in
talk
with
to
Eggs
myself
Benedict.
about Yelp reviews while I'm putting clothes on.
As he
Terrible.
sees Steve, like, he's doing a 1,000-yard stare as he's putting his pants on, as he's got this narrative going on in his head. And it's like, Steve, there's a train to catch, and you
Which
don't have
direction
much
is the
time.
train? Okay, all right. Now I hear you. I hear you. Which
You must
direction?
come around the mountain on the base side, and as you follow around the mountain on the base side, you'll see about 2 kilometers ahead. There will be a
All right,
sign
but
for a
serious
railroad
question:
station.
will she be coming around the mountain when I come?
When she comes.
There's no time for jokes, Steve.
All right, fair enough. I'm gonna tell all these people, look, Bossy in my head, Force Ghost guy says there's a train we've got to catch around the mountain somewhere, and he says we've got to get on it right now.
Wait. Did Odin say it's coming around the mountain when she comes?
He didn't say when she comes. I added that part, but she might be there. I don't know.
Wow, he's totally lame. As I finish sweeping the poop, I'm going to then unattach the manticore hair, go to put it in my sash. I'm like, we might need a broom later. It's okay.
Just
right in the
put
backpack.
horse poop covered hair in the back of your pack.
Get some more. There's a dead body right
You know-
there.
You know what's in my pack? I'm a monk. I'll tell you. There's 3 things. It's my quarterstaff, if I decide to put it there, my flask, which is covered, and my bedroll. I don't care if I sleep near poo. I'm the greatest PI in three realms, son.
Listen, I don't want to judge you. It just seems like a weird double standard to be so against me waking up with my pajamas on and then putting horse poop covered hair in your backpack.
All right.
It seems like a weird line to draw. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? If Slegnir decides to stop pooping, I'll put it away. How's that? Because you know what?
That's fine.
Everybody poops.
Fine.
I've read the
Did
book.
that.
I've read the book. Everybody poops.
All right, I'm getting on this horse and I'm leaving because Force Ghost Man is getting pretty insistent about his no hollandaise and that we need to go get this train. So this bus is leaving.
Can I walk up and be like, Slegnir, is there room for 2? I
Of
know
course there's
there
room
is
for
because
2.
he's
Yeah, of course.
enormous, but I'm asking him to be polite.
Your politeness is well represented. You may ride also. It would seem that I have struck up a friendship with our friend over here. And he nods over to the other horse and he says, companionship is always welcome. I may have misjudged you all, but
Would you please do everything you can to make Argyle happier? He was in a really dark place. And I have no idea where that came from, but it was very aggressive.
he says it has to do with all of the humanly fluids that came off of Steve, to be honest. If you want to know, it was all of the fluids that every time Steve touched him, and then as Steve mounts him, he's putting 2 and 2 together at the same moment, and you see the horse's face start to drop. And he's like,
listen, I sweat. And half of those fluids were just lotion that I put on when I was super shredded up.
That was not Steve's fault. There was grease involved. There was a little weird stuff in the chaos realm. It wasn't all Steve.
No, I feel like Zari's the one we're gonna blame for the grease almost exclusively.
I thought she was the mayonnaise jar.
It comes in many forms. That's all I'm saying.
I will then aggressively hug
I have
Steve.
not done it since we got here. No. Don't blame me. You're not at fault here. I'm the one who has the only healing power here.
Right? Exactly. Got to be nice to Zari. She takes care of us. And she has the rules always on standby, which are appreciated from the Pantless crew. Yeah, rule number 1. We like that.
You need
Big
that.
fan
sign.
of rule 1.
wear pants.
It's true.
For those
So this
who
this
don't
bus is
know,
leaving. Is
Always
everyone
wear
else getting
pants.
packed up? Oh,
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
Brogan's on the back, but
Yeah, he's on the back. Zari, you mount Argyle with Carl.
I help Carl up before I mount.
Okay.
And Eugene. Don't forget Eugene.
Yep, I'm holding Eugene like a mother. Like I kind of like I'm buttoned my top shirt because I have like an undershirt. And I'm using it like one of those
swaddle?
carriers. Yeah, almost
swaddle.
like a swaddle. Like, well, it's still buttoned halfway. I just tucked Eugene halfway in, so he's just stuck to my chest a little bit. So he's just like there. So I have like one hand here and one hand that I can still use. So he's just kind of chilling in my shirt.
I help her over because she's holding Eugene and I'm not touching Eugene. That's going in badly. I can predict it.
Yeah, because you're allergic to Manicore. That's why. As
You really? Is Ari really allergic?
Yes, she is.
I don't
She's
know.
really allergic.
She's allergic to every animal that's not metal.
Zari?
Oh, okay.
Pause up AAA.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes. It's amazing she hasn't died from Argyle yet.
True.
He's
He's
hypoallergenic.
He's half person and half psycho.
As everybody's talking, I'm gonna wave goodbye to the mother Manticore and thank her for her hospitality, even if she tried to eat us.
Thank you guys. Anytime. Hey, and you, I guess you handle the problem. I guess blessings come in all disguises. As she eats a piece of his cooked face, and looks at you and says, "Blessing comes in disguises sometimes. Thank you for showing up. And come back anytime. We'll reminisce."
As I aggressively hug Steve, I'm like, "We're never coming back.
Never coming back.
Never ever coming back. Let's go."
No, I'm gonna give the heels to Slicknear a little bit and say, all right, around the mountain, I guess.
As he takes off, and we're gonna have Argyle somewhat in the back, moving fast, but not too fast. Of course, Slegnir is going to have to move slightly slower because Argyle slower than he normally would because he can move at double speed because Argyle's got to keep up. But he's moving a little faster than Argyle normally would. And as you guys are riding out, you finally see this giant mountain above you. You look far, far into the distance, almost since you took the left path around. You look off to the right, and as you look off to the right, you would see flying against the sky, against the three suns in the sky that you see, coming down, almost the silhouette of dragons flying around the far, far right side of the mountain, miles away. And you kind of learn that if you had gone that route around the mountain instead of the left route, you probably would have encountered dragons.
Oh man, bummer. Those are probably my distant cousins.
Oh, family reunion.
Could have been cool.
You guys are going towards out following the ashen tree. You see it's about a foot of snow after this blizzard under your feet, under the horse's feet as you're riding. It's like a pure white frozen tundra that you're seeing. And as you're riding further and further, you're starting to see what would be railroad tracks. About a kilometer past the mountain, you're starting to see railroad tracks kind of cut into your same direction and move now with you in your direction. Like you don't know where they necessarily were coming from, but the railroad tracks are now moving in your direction. And as you are going, you start to see ahead of you a small, fairly naked, with one little domed booth above it, railroad station as it sits there. And it is completely empty.
Did not think that's where you were going when you said fairly naked, but I think that is much better than what I was expecting. Right on.
I mean, that's not how you describe a railroad station, as fairly naked.
We don't have to extra impose rule 1, so that's good.
You look at the railroad station.
Put some pants station.
Rule 1.
Terrible. Exactly. Rule 1.
Rule none.
All right. Well, I guess if it looks empty, the first thing I'm going to do as we're rolling up is make a perception check to see if it's actually as empty as it looks.
Yeah, you can definitely do so. Just give a perception to see what you're seeing.
Actually go in and investigate.
You can investigate it of what your investigation is. So perception-wise, it's pretty empty. There's no one here. It's almost like there is a large concrete or stone platform that comes up, and as you're there, it comes up, and you see like a wooden awning overhead. You see no one here. It's a very, very small, almost just like one stop to a railway kind of a thing. And your investigation of 6, Zari, which is a crit fail, you can't find any information as it's literally staring you in the face, but you cannot decipher it.
I'm sneezing because the manticore is here and my allergies finally kicked in.
I thought your eyes are watering. How cute Eugene was, obviously. because he's adorable and just tries to bite you to death as a child. He's like a little cat.
If he stays with us,
About
just
that.
one.
Eugene has teeth, right? Because you mentioned that his face is of a baby's,
Yeah,
and if he's
but
2
it
months
has
old, I
like
assume he
sharp,
has no teeth.
like triangle V-shaped, like fang-style teeth that are all over his mouth.
Oh, okay, so it's not just gums like a baby.
No, it's real teeth, but it's still they're tiny. It's like
Yeah, he bit my scales and was like, "Oh, these are hard." He bites you and he's like, "Oh, skin's still kind of hard."
yeah.
Steve gets this face like he's trying to like he's got to poop really bad suddenly, and he's reaching out in his head to ask Space Ghost Man if this is where we're supposed to wait.
When he does that, I immediately stop holding Steve because I assume he actually has to poop. I take my arms off.
You're like, whoa, okay.
Driver.
Again,
Like,
Steve
whoa,
has
not trying to do that.
one fart mode. It's called shard.
Exactly,
It's only one mode.
And I
It's
know
dan-
this.
It's danger farts all day with Steve.
As you reach out, all of a sudden, it's almost like silence happens, and everyone else can give an investigation of the place while you're going, because perception-wise, you guys have stopped here somewhat.
Yeah.
As oh wow, we are not made to. We are the worst private investigators ever, except for Zari at the moment, who finally gets it back. But Steve, in your head, you hear, "Oh, yes, I really think this tequila I think it was distilled in wooden. It was distilled in oak, probably, because it got. Oh, Steve, hello.
Yeah. No. Hi.
Yeah,
It's 10 in the
I was just
morning,
at the
I wish I
pool
heard that.
talking to some friends from down the hall. Anyway, what was your question?
Is this the station where you'd like us to wait? Is this where you want us to urgently go?
Yes. It just seems you've been fairly impatient, and the train hasn't arrived. Maybe you arrived a little early. Have you liked Slegnir?
Yeah, he's a little mouthy, but I'm sure you know that.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes I just appease him to let things go. Water under the bridge. Kind of a. I've got to go. I've been called for shuffleboard, Steve.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have fun. Don't hang pineapples upside down, no matter what you do.
I gotta go, Steve. I don't know what you just said, but I have to leave.
No, that means he did it already. That's a group shuffleboard game if I ever heard of one.
As all of a sudden in the distance, as you guys are investigating, Zari, you end up finding a pamphlet on the ground. It's almost like a flyer for a train schedule, and you see it just shows it shows positions of the three suns, and it shows where the train would be on a line. And you see that this line goes from it goes from what would be a picture of a giant city called Hindenburg, and it goes out to one spot, which is like you see a giant set of stairs that goes up. You see it meets over at another spot where there is a giant tree. And you can pretty much let out that from what you're getting on your 19 investigation, the train should be arriving within the next 2 minutes. And as you deduce this, you hear a steam of a steam engine go toot toot in the distance as it is coming towards you, and it seems like it's slowing down to stop at your station, aiming in the same direction as the tree, the world ash, or at least it's got 2 stops before the world ash.
Excellent.
Do we need to buy a ticket for this train?
I mean, we have horse royalty with us. Don't you think they'll just comp us some tickets?
And as it stops, you hear it go as it skims into the station, and someone walks out in a conductor's outfit, and it's a small gnome wearing a vest with a bow tie on, and says, "All aboard! Those going to the infinite staircase in Yggdrasil, please board."
Yeah, do you have horse compartments?
We have the rear. We can put them in the stable car. We have no horses in there for them to be friends with, but I think there's a pig back there.
Not to be that guy, Mr. Respectful Gnome, but this is Slegnir. He is the horse. Could we possibly get some better accommodations for him in Argyle?
Well, I don't think anywhere else in the maybe the bar car might suit them.
Perfect. That's where I'm going to be anyway. So the bar car will work out great. Slegnir and Argyle, we're going to the bar car. Let's go, boys.
Well, fantastic. Since this is Slignir, we'll get you hooked up with our private chef also.
I'm gonna elbow Zari a little bit in the ribs, like, see, I told you so.
I'm gonna pat this gnome on the shoulder and be like, "You are the best train conductor I've ever met."
He says, "Well,
but no one knows that."
You know, this train was set up as a service in the frozen tundra because if you were going to walk the next probably about 200 miles, you'd die.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Good thing we got Slegnir, the greatest horse in the land, and I'll shoot him a wink, and then I'll be like, Argyle, don't worry, you're number 2. Got you, big guy.
And Argyle, in his Scottish accent, just like Sean Connery.
Oh God, the coughing. Oh
yeah, that's I'm too sick to do the voice. As he says, well, if we're gonna be in the bar car, mates, I guess we shall drink our way there. He said 200 miles, Brogan.
That's at least 3 bottles of pop, big guy. We can do this. Hi hoof.
My constitution has gotten better since I've met Slegnir, my old pal. And he looks over and nods his head, and he has a stoic, teary-eyed bro look in his eye as he looks at Slegnir. And the horses.
Oh man, I miss Bronco. Oh man.
Zari pats you on the shoulder as you walk out.
I appreciate it so much.
Following the horses onto the bar car as the gnome leads you on and says, well, it should be about 24 hours and we should be at the infinite stairwell.
All right.
Great.
That's
great. Where are our seats?
Well, you can sit anywhere you'd like. We have lodging towards the front of the car. We have our bar car in near the back with our cook's cabins, per se. The kitchen back there also. The steam engine runs on steam and magic.
Oh, well, that's great. I'm going to go to the bar car, I guess, too, then, just if that's where...
If we'll send you all to the bar car and send you out our private chef.
Perfect.
We're going to party. Brogan is very excited. He tells the group, he's like, guys, I have these great drinks I want us to try, and I'm really excited to see what the Ysgard version of these are. I'm so pumped.
I'm gonna whisper to Zari, do you have like an immobilization spell in case things get really out of hand? I'm just picturing 2 very drunk horses and 1 very drunk Brogan confined to a car.
Grease.
That's the only spell. That's what you need.
Oh, great.
It's the Leatherman of all. It's the multi-tool.
It is. Flaming dragon coming out. Grease. 2 horses and a big guy drunk in a bar cart. Grease.
As you all head into the bar car, you take your seats. You see that there are not many people on the train as you get on. You see 1 person on some of the regular seating. And you see that also there was another 1 person inside the bar car sitting towards the front of it. It seems to be a high elf who, in fancy dress, glasses on, long white hair, kind of looks like a young high elf, probably in his 50s, and is sitting there kind of just reading what would be like just parchments, like going over just doing documents and parchments kind of a thing as he's doing so.
Approach the bartender.
As you approach the bartender, you see what would be a very well-dressed with a bow tie ogre wearing a vest, bow tie, and he's sitting there polishing a glass. And he says, well, what can I get you guys?
First of all, sir, you look rather dashing. I would like to tell you that. Second of all, have you ever made what's known as a trash can?
A trash can? Huh.
Yes.
Is that where we end up putting a bunch of clear spirits inside of a glass, and then you pour on top of it some kind of power energy drink with possibly some kind of curacao?
You're in a different realm, and you knew what a trash can was. You are my favorite person in this car. I don't care about anything else right now. This is the best thing I've heard. Trash cans all around.
He's like, well, I have an energy drink. It's called Blue Cow.
Let's
Blue
do it.
Cow.
Let's get weird. Instead of Red Bull, Blue Cow. Oh, I caught that. Oh.
It took me a second.
But yes,
It's like Blue
yes.
Cow.
Trash cans all around, and I throw a bunch of gold on the counter. I'm like, let's
you
get
guys
weird.
are handed beer steins with ice in it that all are green with a can sticking out the top of it with a swirly straw and an umbrella sticking out of each of them. And you're handed these drinks that are made for college students, soldiers, and sailors. And as they are put in front of you...
Can confirm.
I can confirm.
I've done both.
No.
As they are put in front of you, there you see that there are two buckets, like metal buckets brought over for the horses that each have two cans sticking out the top of them with a swirly straw coming out of it.
I've only got 15 gold in my name, and I give them 10. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
here you go. I'm like, this is everything I wanted and more. I'm like, you are the greatest bartender ever. Keep them coming, big guy. And the attempt I do in real life, where when you go to a wedding, you tip ahead of time because as you get drunk, you tip less because you don't think about it. I'm like, here you go. Here's everything up front.
Steve is super into. He's picturing like the S straws that our moms all gave us in the '90s, like the really long ones.
Oh yeah,
he's sipping that like 3 feet away from his actual drink.
Love it. And as you're doing it, the barkeep says, "Well, I was informed by by our porter that you have someone coming in as a that you have secret chef. You have the special chef service coming in. That because you're with Slegnir, you got a private chef service coming.
VIP chef, bring him in. Bring the cold cuts."
He says, "Well, you're getting better than cold cuts. It seems for our special guests, we do a special hibachi service."
Oh, I bristle a little bit when he says
They
it's
do
better
a
than cold
hibachi
cuts.
here? Like, Carl's just looking around like, what is this train?
More sake, more happy. That's what I want. More sake, more happy.
As all of a sudden you see from where the dining car would be, out from the dining car into the bar car comes a chef. He's a ogre, standing about 6'5". He has long brown hair with a ponytail coming down, wide shoulders, somewhat of a large belly, wearing a chef's jacket. And he pushes a cart up that has a whole bunch of knives slipped down the side of it and a bunch of cut of meats. And you look in the center of it, and there is a small roaring fire with coals over it. As he walks it out right in front of you all and says, "Hello, my name is Steven."
Oh, this is the happiest Brogan's been ever. He looks at Steve. He looks at Steven. He looks at Steve. He looks at Steven. He's like, "Excuse me, barkeep. I'm gonna need another trash can. This is about to get really freaking good." Sorry too. You know what? Everyone else but Steve, more trash cans. Let's go.
I'm gonna sit down in front of him at the table and say, "Well, what are you making today, Steven?"
"Well, I was going to do some teriyaki beefsteaks. I was going to braise them slightly, chop them slowly, heat them."
You guys can see Steve is actually getting a little aroused right now, like his cheeks are flushing up.
He's like, "Chop them slowly."
Just
and
chop them slowly.
Like, "Oh my God, what?"
Heat them to a sizzle. And as he all of a sudden he says heat them to a sizzle, does a slight violent slap of a spatula on the table as it flies in the air. He catches it. And then all of a sudden flips up some meat. It lands on top of some hot coals, and he never breaks eye contact with you, Steve.
Nice. Steve's actually like breathing heavy at this point.
Steve, how many people are going to impregnate you on this journey?
Yeah.
I mean, we already have one. If this is going to be two,
I'm gonna say,
like on the other
Steven, that's
side
very
of the
impressive.
hibachi
Where
table,
did
just,
you train your culinary
eyeing
skills?
Steve, very concerned.
And
Zari's just like, oh, this is happening. Can't wait to see how this goes. She's just going to tell the chef, "Hey, can you cook a vegetarian hibachi, please?"
I'm gonna shoot such an evil glance at Zari right now.
He looks over at Zari. raises one eyebrow slowly, but never moves his face as he looks. It's like he's still looking between Steve and Zari. Raises one eyebrow dramatically, looks over, quickly.
Out one of the 100 gold piece gems and go, just so you stop judging me, here you go.
100 gold piece. Thank you.
Yeah.
This gem's going to a good cause. You know that cause? You know that cause is justice. And he slaps his spatula on the table. What flies up is a bunch of zucchini and celery, and it lands right on the hot coals. And
all sliced perfectly.
Yeah, all sliced perfectly. And as he stares at you all, give an investigation as you're looking him over. What his chef's jacket, like his chef's jacket, his body, what he looks like.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him where he got his training because he seems very good at this.
And as you're asking, give your investigations also on what you're seeing here. As you ask, he says, "Well, Brogan, you pick up on something right away." He says to you, "I was once in the military for years. I don't like to talk about it. Special ops." And you immediately see Brogan on his jacket. It says, it has his name tag. It says Chef Seagull. Chef Steven Seagull, as he looks at you doing hibachi right in front of you.
Yeah, I caught that, big guy. Proud of you. I'm gonna as a guy that did his time and then was a PI. I'm gonna say, you know what? Hey, I get it. No complaints. Appreciate you being here to serve us now. Thank you much.
And he looks at you, nods his head in a stoic 1,000-yard stare gaze, slaps the spatula on the table, and immediately 2 chicken legs come up and land on top of the hot coals.
I'm gonna ask him. Hey, Steven, have you ever had a trash can?
Well, no, I've never had a trash can.
Well, let me open your eyes to something pretty special. I'm gonna look over at the barkeep and I'm like, can we do one for the chef, please?
And he makes one up and he goes, "Well, we're not supposed to drink on the job, but if Slegnir's here."
I was gonna say, I ain't telling if you ain't telling.
I ain't telling if Slegnir ain't telling. And he's like, the barkeep, the ogre barkeep, kind of puts his hand over his mouth slightly and whispers over to Steven Seagull and says, "I can't believe Slegnir's really here," and hands him a trash can. And as Steven Seagull sips this trash can, he looks at you all straight in the eye and he goes, raises one eyebrow and says, "Stimulating."
Yeah, it's the only thing that really is. I say it all stoically. No, I'm gonna ask. Like how I'm acting right now. I'm just saying in character.
Brogan about to have a threesome with this guy. What's going on?
Look, you don't understand. Right? You don't understand the connection we have here. Beyond spectral.
I'm gonna ask Steven.
Baby Manticore sipping out of her trash can and just being like, I don't know what to do here.
Your dad's a weird guy. Yeah, he is.
I'm going to ask Steven, with all that training and serious, I can't talk about it stuff that he used to do, how did he end up on a train in the middle of nowhere serving hibachi?
Well, I had a daughter, and I had to take care of her. So, I left the life for a new one. I love food. You know, cooking food's a lot like killing a man. And he just never finishes that analogy. He just leaves it right there.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I was just gonna go a Taken route and just be like, and she was stolen.
When he doesn't finish that, I'm just gonna slap my drink on the table and then crush the rest of my trash can. As I reach for another trash can, because I want a third one, I'm also going to hand him my flask and be like, can you make me one more to fill this as well so I can take it with me on the road? You are the best barkeep ever. I'm going to give him 5 more gold, literally going to empty my pockets.
Yeah.
And just be like, this is the most fun ever.
Brogan, don't worry about it. And I pull out one of my gems that's worth $100 and pass it to him. Be like, just keep them coming.
As they
Oh
keep coming,
wow,
you look at your table.
sorry.
Now I'm gonna have all of you as you're drinking, except for Brogan. Well, all of you can roll me a Constitution saving throw. Brogan's Constitution saving throw is going to be very different than the rest of your Constitution saving throws. Um, but if
Because
you
I'm
roll
a
me a
drunken
Con
master,
save,
and that's what I do.
yeah, it's because you literally you drink so much it might not be possible to get drunk anymore. Uh, so yeah, as you're drinking, because these trash cans are essentially just like they're speedballs.
It's 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 Long Island iced teas, and they pretend to put flavor in it. That's what they are. In
Yeah.
a place that doesn't make a lot of money, so they overpour.
Uh, so one, two. So we're gonna say Steve and Zari, you're gonna be having some slight trouble. Anything that comes up, every other roll you're gonna go through might be at disadvantage. We're gonna roll a percentile to see if it'll be at disadvantage of 50-50, but it'll be every other roll might be at disadvantage because of the amount you guys are drinking.
Okay.
So it's not going to be
I
every
need.
roll. It'll be every other roll. We'll roll a D100 and see if it's above 50. Then you're fine. If it's below, you're probably going to have disadvantage on that roll. Other than that, it's just like a homebrew to kind of impose some kind of poisoning from these trash cans.
It's not poison; it's life. I'm
Oh
gonna.
my gosh.
I need
Anyway,
one second, Brogan. I need to like take a 5 minute emergency break, guys. I'll be right back. I got a phone call that I absolutely have to answer.
yeah,
Okay,
sure, go for
I'll
it.
be right back.
Come right
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah. Do you think, man?
Come right back.
While that's going on, and I'm looking at the bartender after he makes me the two trash cans, the one for the flask and the one to drink now. I'm gonna ask him very nicely as to pull up my brewer supplies and be like, do you have any tips on this? I've been trying to make something that's kind of like a quote unquote dragon stout. I want it to be deep and burning, but I want it to be high in alcohol content. Any suggestions as a professional?
Well, any suggestions as a professional?
Well, that would be
Uh,
you.
I don't
I mean,
necessarily know what I could tell you. Something deep and burning, a stout. I would say a Boilermaker.
I'm gonna. Can I make a brewer supply roll to see if I know what that is?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I do all right. I get a 19.
Okay. Yeah, 19. You know what it is. It's just whiskey and beer.
All right. I'm gonna ask. I'm like, is there anything else that you can think of with like how to age stuff or whatnot? Because I'm not gonna say I'm a career drinker, but I do enjoy drinking, and anything that can make my experience more enjoyable, I would really appreciate if you happen to have any insights, big guy.
Career drinker. Anything that'll make it more enjoyable. Well,
And please
if all
don't say
else fails, drink
women, because that
champagne.
never works. What do you mean, drink champagne?
Well, it's a little
I have
known
so much
secret.
respect for you.
The bubbles get you drunk quicker.
That reminds me of a song called Tiny Bubbles. But anywho, that is a. All right, Brogan will say that out loud as it is a military song, and then look over at Steven Seagull. Because definitely not Seagal. But yeah, so I will tell the bartender thank you, and then go back to the hibachi table as I'm very excited, and then I will also ask Steven Seagal if I can make a small request.
What would that be?
Can I have some extra diced meat for the little one here? And I'll look at Eugene.
And as you do, he says, "You want it cooked or uncooked?"
Oh, preferably cooked.
Well then.
He prefers it uncooked, but I'm trying to train him at a younger age that that's not okay, so he doesn't get used to chomping on random people, if you know what I mean. I have scales, but not everyone else is going to be so lucky in his later years.
I understand. And hands you cooked meat and then a little bit of raw just behind it. He goes, "Just a couple of this too, just if you're trying to wean him off of raw and get him onto cooked." He's like, "I had a young one once."
You're a gentleman, scholar, and a fine judge of whiskey. And then I will take a half minute and go over to Carl and attempt to basically weave in and out like a 2-to-1 ratio of cooked and uncooked, so he'll eat it.
Very nice. As you're doing so, He's serving the last of the food to everyone, and you've all had amazing meals. And as you've eaten this fantastic meal in the bar car, cooked to you for you by a private chef, even Slegnir and Argyle have gotten some oats drenched in a honey and milk glaze that was just beyond fantastic. Um, Give me a quick perception of what you're hearing as things are going on. Because your perception will be 21, fantastic, 21. Uh, Steve and Carl, you both hear as Carl, you're sitting in one of the car, sipping on your trash can, um, and mixed with Blue Cow, and it's green. Or is it? Yeah, trash cans are green, I think. And
Changes depending on the area.
yeah.
Yeah, they turn blue and green. They're both. It depends on where you're
Well, I
at.
think it's blue curacao in them that turns green when you add the Blue Cow. Um,
Yes, the blue cat. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's been years since I've worked in that industry, but yeah, I think so.
I was gonna say, I know you know it.
Yeah. So and as Brogan comes over and starts feeding this little baby this baby manticore. Steve, you have meat just hanging out of your mouth within your beard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's glistening juices that he's just chopping more up and sending it to you. All of a sudden you hear it would be Steve and Carl, you hear what would be a cackle in your head or around you, both of you. It's almost like it's in the air on the cold wind. Even though you're sheltered from the cold wind in this train, there's a sound on the cold wind of a cackle that is moving, that almost vibrates off the train, that Carl and Steve both hear, that makes the cold air on your neck. It's a female cackle. It sounds like almost like it's a gargling cackle that makes the hair on your neck stand up, and it's cold, it's frigid, and you both hear it, Carl and Steve.
I'm gonna exchange a look with Carl and say, Dementors?
It sounded more like a sea witch, but we're on a train going around a mountain, so
I'm gonna ask Steven if he heard that.
He goes, it does sound a little fishy, and looks his eyes both ways.
Well, not actually moving his neck. Like, we trusted he took in the entire room, just moving his eyes.
Just moving his eyes.
Yeah.
And he goes, it sounds like it came from outside the train. Carl, you are sitting in one of the cars holding a little baby. As you look outside the car into the sky with your 21, you immediately see in the sky, almost it's a mile long by a mile wide. You see the face of a woman, and it's half woman on this face and half undead, almost like the clouds have come together to form this face.
Jesus Christ. So it's just like a lady's face in the window? Like,
as you look into the sky, it's kind of like the clouds almost form into this face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this clouds form into this face that is half woman and half ghoul almost.
All right. I'm gonna just be like, Steve, and just point out the window.
I'm gonna go have a look. I've obviously got meat in my hand while I'm coming, and I'm chewing while I'm going over to take a look.
If they're looking, can I also look?
Yeah, for sure. As you look up, Brogan, you definitely see this. Zari, do you end up looking and seeing this face in the clouds that
I'll
forms
follow them because everyone's going there. Might as well look.
And as you're looking, you see this face that forms out of the clouds. Roll me a religion check.
All right. Well, this looks like my ex, and I'll go ahead and roll.
Oh yeah,
religion.
it probably might. It might. So 14. We're gonna go with our best religion roll today. The 14s. Zari and Steve would both know that this is the face of Loki's daughter in the sky, Hel, who is cast down to be the queen of the damned.
I'm gonna look back at Steven and say, "Oh my God, buddy, we're under siege."
He's like, "Wait, this is again?"
Yeah, we're under siege again.
Oh.
As a character, I wouldn't know this, but out of character, I know a lot about this, so I'm really sad I made that role.
all of a sudden, as you're saying that to him, you say again, you immediately see him pick up a knife out from underneath a kitchen knife from behind the cart as he's holding it in his hand. The next thing you hear from down the cart is, "Oh my gosh, it's eating my face!" As you look and you see the dapper dressed elf, the young one of 60 years old, who was reading a book and looked like grading papers, now has a ghoul eating his face. As you see, the train is now running faster than it has ever needed to run before. And as you look and see that, you see a knife get thrown immediately from Steven Seagal over the hibachi table and lands in the ghoul's head as the ghoul lands on the ground right next to you, or right at the front of the car. And as you stand there inside this car, you see running down from the center of the car, coming your way, is what looks like a vampire walking down the center line with ghouls following behind her. What would you do?
Scream out, "They're under siege too!"
Firebolt!
I will immediately place Eugene down, or if Carl's holding him, be like, you know what, Eugene, this is what life's all about. Tap him on the forehead and go, all right, here we go, baby. Time to get weird. Crush what's left of that last trash can and run out there.
As you anyone else, what would you all do?
No, I'm pulling out my huge great axe and I'm gonna wink at Steven and start running towards this vampire.
And as you start running, everyone roll into initiative. Carl and Zari, what would you be doing as this is all of a sudden you start looking down the hallway and see that there is a vampire following or leading a team of ghouls?
I would be casting fireball at it. I don't want it near me.
Well, then you will have your chance.
Carla's just gonna hold Eugene a little bit closer because she's afraid if she puts him down, he's either gonna get hurt or get lost. So she's just gonna do an extra button on her jacket to make him more secure and just be like, "Don't worry, darling, we got this."
We go.
So we've got
Terrible.
Zari in, Brogan in, Steve in, and Carl in. Awesome, with the vampire and the ghouls. And we've got Steven Seagal in. So very nice. As he is ready to join the
This is
fight.
initiative 41.
Yeah. His initiative makes it like none of y'all have initiative, like you're all lazy. That's how much initiative he's got.
He does what he wants.
He's already fighting under siege on a spaceship right now, actually, is what he's
True,
doing. He's already there.
Hey, that's because he's the gangster of love, you know?
He is the gangster of love.
Bringing it back.
As you all of a sudden see break through the gate, you see a ghoul moving as fast as it can up to you guys, and it takes all of its movement in action, and as it's walking through the seats, kind of stumbling around, it's kind of you can fit two across this bar car kind of a thing, moving back and forth. So it's kind of on one side, kind of in the middle-ish to one side as it's moved through, and is probably about 10 feet from you guys. And it took all of its movement to get there, like just busting through this door, breaking it out, as you can now hear the outsides of the car going as this train is moving. Carl, you see this ghoul standing in the middle of this hallway now.
Okay. Carl's gonna take out her gun and she's gonna fire at the ghoul.
Carl, wait, cover Eugene's ears.
Yeah. So she has one arm where she's just like this at a weird angle, just trying to cover both his ears and has the gun out like this.
Very nice.
All right. Pistol.
As you shoot at the ghoul, a 19 hits. Give me and do you trick shot it?
Sure. I'm going to do. What was the one I did before? It was the.
Carl is John Wick. She never misses a shot. I'm telling you. Never misses a shot.
I'm gonna do a violent shot.
Very nice.
Says when you make a firearms attack against a creature, you can extend one or more grip point to enhance the volatility.
Volatility?
Yeah. For each grip point extended, the attack gains a +2 to the firearm's misfire score. If the attack hits, you can roll one additional weapon damage die per grip point spent when determining the damage.
Very nice. So it took the 11, and next.
Next,
how many additional dice she rolls will determine how many pluses.
So I think you roll. Let me post it up real quick so I can get it, because I heard you. Details are starting to fleet.
I have to kind of copy and paste it.
Go for it.
Because it's okay if I can get it.
I mean, it sounds like if she rolls 2 more dice for misfires, a 3+, because it's 2 more for the 1.
Yeah, so it would be a 3+.
If she's doing 2 more dice, it could be as many dice as she wants. I don't know exactly how that reads, but that's how it sounded.
Yeah.
It's closing out. Hold on, I need to type it into.
Here, I'll just bring up your sheet.
Every time I try to click on it to paste it, it just keeps closing out.
Gotcha. I can probably post it.
Okay. Okay. I was just trying to get that one section. That works better too.
No worries. So, attack for each grip point expended. The attack gains a +2 to the firearm's misfire score. So how many, you have 1 to expend, 1 grip point to expend.
I'm only doing 1.
So you're only doing the 1. So you get a +2. You can expend 1, for each grip point expended. The attack gains a +2. The firearm's misfire score, attack hits. You can roll 1 additional weapon damage die. So you're going to roll 1 more damage die. Okay. And your damage dice was a D10.
Yep.
Wow. So you have the potential. You can't take it out in one shot, but you're pretty darn close if you get a max. No, -3. Very nice.
So
and then roll a D20 and beat a 3 on a D20. There you go. So you'll get your grip point back. Very nice.
Solid.
Brogan, you see this ghoul standing in the middle of this walkway in the bar car. To your right is the bar, to the left is the seats you guys were in, and you guys are traveling in the direction of the ghoul.
All right. Is there a wall behind me?
There is to the back. You're in the middle of the car. To your left is the seats. To your right is the bar, and then behind you about 25-30 feet is the back door to the door to the kitchen and dining area.
Okay, I go straight WWE on this, and I lean to the right, attempt to bounce off the bar, and then just throw one exaggerated run hand into the ghoul's face.
Very nice.
So basically I charge the ghoul for a melee attack.
Love it.
So whatever that plus charge is, so a 19 to hit.
So that's 17. Well, no, I mean, do you get a charge attack as your class race, or because
no,
there's no charge after 3.5 unless specified.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. I just do that and I run at him like an idiot in an attempt to run him over with my punch.
Love it. You can definitely do so. And you can try and knock him down if you want. But there's no need. Tell me how you knock out this ghoul.
So I literally bounce my back off the bar car and I scream at the top of my lungs off the top rope, and then I run at him, jump, and then just basically haymaker down on his face. After Carl just blew him full of holes.
Love it. As you blew him full of holes, you look over and you see Steven Seagal looks at you, ponytail tight as ever, squints, and you can tell he's giving you a thumbs up with his face, but nothing on his face moves. 0 on his face moves.
Does the ghoul go down or no?
Oh, it's dead.
Oh,
it's gone. And you can see in the car behind that, which is just a regular seating car, is where they're coming at you from.
If I use that as a... I don't have that as a free action. Okay, that will end my turn then. My turn.
Gotcha. That is, this vampire spawn sees you all fighting the ghouls, yells at the ghouls in what would be, of course, an Eastern Bloc accent, given that Steven Seagal is on this train, and yells, After them, and immediately goes up. You can see goes to where there's a break in the door. You can see through the break in the door that the ghoul broke through. That it goes around the side of the train and starts climbing up a ladder to the top of the moving train. And that takes its full action. Steve Froman, you are up.
Steve is going to make this a full-on 80s action movie. He's going to bonus action rage. And then he's chasing this ghoul up to the top of the train. He wants to have a duel up at the top of the train.
So awesome. You can take your movement to go up, and you see she is now at the top of the train. And as you go up, she was holding an action to attack. So you are going to be able to climb, so it will not be an advantage. You were able to get up, but she is the one square ahead that you move up to. So the first thing that happens is she is going to attack, but then you are going to get the ability to attack.
Excellent.
As claws come out at you.
Here we go, DM1.
Yeah, right. A 13 to hit, Steve, which I don't think
just hits. No,
just
it does.
hits. As you take 8 slashing.
Steve doesn't care about armor. Is it 8? So it's 4 slashing because I'm raging.
Yep. So it's 4 slashing. But does not try to grapple you on this one. Just tries to slash you.
Oh, you mean you don't want to grapple the raging, roided out strength monster? Weird.
She's
weird decision.
She knows what's up. She knows what's up. And as you get up there and attack Steve, go for it.
All right, Steve laughs off her attack, kind of pushes her out of the way to get to the top of the ladder, and just gives like a full Joe DiMaggio swing with this great axe.
Love it.
Oh, it's not good. It's
the
not
11
good.
just misses as she hisses at you, holding her claws out, black hair coming down to the side.
All right, so instead of Joe DiMaggio, I'm gonna Barry Bonds that, and you swing like a lumberjack. If you would have hit, it would have been out of the park. But
it's true. Yeah.
Here you are.
And she says,
"That's my turn."
We were sent to kill you, and kill you we shall. I shall drink your blood, Steve.
I have plot armor, lady.
Plot armor?
What?
I'm the PC.
And
plot armor. I think it's plot armor. I was like, what?
That too. Steve has a lot of plop armor as well.
Yeah,
it's not plot armor. I think it's called. I think the correct pronunciation is PLOP armor.
That's my turn. That's bonus movement and action.
Very nice. As she, in a Eastern Bloc accent, makes sure to let you know she was sent to kill you and the party.
Yeah, for sure.
Steven Seagull runs over to the ghouls in the other side, immediately starts punching and kicking as he knows how to do. As one ghoul kind of moves at him, he immediately strikes. Bang!
Using oddly dated karate chops.
Oh my gosh! Everything is a chop. Everything is a chop. 100%. He all of a sudden the ghoul moves in. He takes the ghoul's energy. Chop to the shoulder. Hits for 9 force damage. And immediately the ghoul's got to make a dexterity saving throw because of course he's got 80s star power behind his hand.
That's right.
At least it wasn't called Buck Storis, and he was just kicking everyone as a Ysgard ranger.
That's awesome. As this one falls prone right to the ground, he immediately looks down, and for cool factor, he will -9 damage. As it takes 9 damage, he will immediately just pull a dart out of his pocket, but it's not a dart, it's a knife, and just throws the kitchen knife down on the ground, and we'll see if he hits. As the kitchen knife goes right down at it, he throws it.
He just war-zoned this guy.
Yeah.
Got the knife and the knife.
Thing is he's never broken eye contact with any of you except Steve at this moment. Like each one of you looks at him and you think he's looking right into your soul, just piercing eyes as he is going through karate chops.
I love him.
As this thing is not dead, but it is on the ground and now has a kitchen knife sticking out of it with him standing over it, staring you down into your soul, disrobing you. If you think, well, I mean, depends what his eyes look like to you. If I saw them, they would be disrobing, or at least disarming.
Not for me. Disrobe me, big guy. This is a pimp coat for a reason.
The next ghoul who is on the ground is going to get up and attack at Steven Seagal. And
Obviously, for a miss because you can't hit him.
yeah, that's going to be the problem. As it does, it is going to immediately stand up and bite at him for 14 to hit, which will not hit because he parries to the side, just pushing its head against the table.
Ballet move, just
Steven the baller.
Yeah, it was like watching water move. Really, it was that smooth.
Look,
Smooth.
Brogan can only be so excited to see a human being. All right? We need to calm down. Everyone here is getting all worked up, and mostly that is Brogan.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay because he's an ogre, so you can be as excited as you want. He's not human. He's an ogre.
Oh God! Oh
the
God!
barkeep's an ogre.
Thing,
Yeah.
which makes it true. That and the barkeep. I'm never leaving this train.
Zari is up as you see that there is one ghoul right next to Steven Seagal and another ghoul about 5 feet behind that ghoul, and they are about 25 feet away from you.
I know Steve went up to fight.
And he went up to the roof to go fight this vampire.
Right, bonus action, I'm going to yell at AAA to attack ghoul, the one that's on the ground. It's an advantage. So 16?
Well, he's not on the ground, but a 16 will hit. He is up now.
Well, isn't that plus your proficiency bonus anyway? So it would at least be an 18.
Yeah,
right?
so you're fine. 16 plus your proficiency, so that hits. The 16 definitely hits. With these ghouls, you just got to beat a 12. So it's what? 1 plus?
1 plus 2, so 3.
3?
That's
Awesome.
what
As
does.
200-pound metal dog is biting on the leg of this ghoul.
I will go up to the roof, run up to the roof because don't want Steve to fall off.
Love it. And in Eastern Bloc accent, you hear this woman with black hair down to her shoulders, young, in her 20s, vampire with vampire teeth, glowing red eyes, stares at you and says, "I'm here to kill you, Zari."
Okay. As I was running up to the roof. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
As I was running up to the roof, I grab a bag of rice from the hibachi cart and throw it at her.
Oh, signifying?
Well, there's Japanese vampire lore that if you drop rice in front of them, they have to pick it up and count each one.
I think that's racist vampire lore, personally.
That's feudal Japan, and it's realistic if you actually read it. She's right on the money.
We should have checked the cart for garlic if we're being real, though.
Legend of the Five Rings will back that up.
I was gonna shove a garlic in my gun and shoot it.
As you throw rice, I'm gonna roll a percentile. If it gets 90 or above, the rice will have an effect. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe she's just an OCD vampire. You don't know.
Let's see real quick. 140. The rice she's just covered in rice now. It's crunchy where you walk.
That's fine.
And she's looking at you perplexed.
Yeah.
Wrong vampire. Yeah, I think that's all I can do.
Love it.
There's just a pause in the battle of her and Steve going at it to see this rice come flying.
Flying everywhere, like, huh? As you're now, everything's crunchy. Very nice. That worked as well as it could. Good try though. I liked the inclusion of lore. I've never heard of it, and it is, I mean, it's a good try. I guess she's not a Japanese vampire. That might have been it. So
She wasn't Japanese. I was being racist. It's fine.
yeah. This next one is going to this ghoul is going to attack at AAA actually with a bite and a claw at AAA.
Oh damn, that hits.
Both hit. So a 7 piercing on the bite, and then so technically AAA is a construct, not a creature. So it will not have to make the Constitution saving throw. but it will take it's the 8. It will take the slashing, so it will be 15 damage to AAA.
Cool.
You mean he doesn't counter with a quarterstaff of awesomeness that is AAA?
As let me just see real quick. We are gonna hit the top of the order, but I wanted to see if there was any special reactions that my Steven Seagal had, but he does not. No special reactions from Steven Seagal. Just regular attacks. As we are at the top of the order. Carl, you see that there are two ghouls down this hallway. What do you do?
Are there only two, Magic DM?
There are two ghouls in the hallway left, and then there is the vampire on the roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the vampire went to the roof. She's not near the ladder anymore?
No, she's up at the top, and so is Steve and Zari as they've climbed up to the top of this moving train, which is majestic,
fire
by the
that
way.
garlic batter. Okay. Yeah, I'll just aim for one of the ghouls then. Let's see.
As you aim at the ghoul, the shot just misses and goes wide. It must have been the smooth moving that Steven Seagal did. That as it was flying, the ghoul was flying to the side. The bullet just missed.
He's so majestic.
Oh God, I know.
Anything else does Carl get up to?
Can I action surge to try and do another attack?
Yeah, go for it. You're a fighter. It's your surge.
Yeah.
Oof, as that goes wide too, and you've just shattered a window as you just feel cold air coming into the train.
I'm also trying to hold on to a baby, so it's like
yeah, just everywhere.
Motherhood
is tough.
Biting your ear and you're trying to shoot.
Motherhood is tough.
I'm at my shoulder and I'm like, no, like trying to hold him, like
it's going everywhere.
Yeah,
Windows shattering.
Why is there rings on the ground?
Yeah, and both shots broke two different windows on two sides of the train on the car ahead of you. So you just see that there's like snow coming in a little bit, cold air now blowing in. It's making a little more noise. Brogan, you are up.
I'm gonna tell Steven, don't move, and I'm gonna attempt to acrobatics over him into a flurry of blows on the other ghoul in front of him.
Cool. So you, I think you're gonna have to make an attack to have that happen. So is your first? You're gonna be attacking first and then flurrying.
Well, no. My hope was to acrobatics over him because there was one he was standing over that he knifed, and there was one beyond him 5 feet.
Yeah,
so
the one he knifed. The one he knifed, he kind of held onto and moved to the side a little bit because it stood up. So he's kind of. So you're gonna roll over the back of it. And you don't even have to. You can give me an acrobatics to see how cool it looks.
Yeah, that's basically what I want to do, and then I want to throw a flurry of kicks at the guy in front.
Awesome. You can even use your attack action to do so if you'd like. Because you've got the movement, you can make it, so you can use your attack action plus a flurry on that.
And also free action Hunter's Mark the guy in front of me for the extra D6.
That would be your bonus, so you'd lose the flurry because I think the flurry comes as a bonus.
Okay, well then instead I will just do the bonus, but I would like to send my 3 attacks and burn my key point to flurry of blows this guy.
Awesome. Yeah, so give me an acrobatics to see how awesome this rollover looks, and then we'll do the 3 attacks. A 20, it looks awesome.
Oh my God, so I do the coolest rollover you've ever seen, and then I throw 3 attacks that are all hits.
All hits as you're hitting this one.
So
that's gonna be. We don't have the Hunter's Mark damage on there, so it'll be 6 plus 5 plus 6. That's 12 plus 5. 17 damage. What does it look like as you're doing the 17? It's not dead, but it's pretty darn close.
So I take one hand and I vault over Steven, and then I throw like the triple leg, like ya, and I kick this guy in the face 2 times with my right foot and 1 time with my left. And then I land looking all stoic as my pimp coat lands and like flourishes around me.
And Steven hasn't broken eye contact with you.
Yeah, I know. Very aware.
I'll come back and be like, Eugene, did.
Oh yeah, that's right, Eugene. Your dad did this. You're welcome.
Very nice hits. Up next comes the vampire. She says, Steve, and looks over and then says, Zari, I know you because I was sent to kill you. You will know my name before you die. It is Starlight.
Scarlet?
Is that like Taserface?
Yes, my name is Starlight. And look,
Okay, Scarlet. Got it.
no, Starlight. Starlight. My name is Starlight.
Okay,
Scarlet,
right?
Stars.
Okay, Mr. Lord.
Star light, and goes, and one claw comes out at Steve, one claw comes out at Zari. First one comes out at Steve, 22 to hit. Second one,
Yeah,
9
depends
at
what that hits.
so the 7 and will not be trying to grapple you, would just be doing the damage. So it's a 7 for 3 damage because of your rage.
Yeah. I wish you would try to grapple me. That'd be hilarious.
Soon.
I love that.
It's coming. As
My name is
she's like, no,
my name
Starlight.
is P Lady.
Scarlet.
Like, I mean, what is
That's rice on her.
just more rice is actually what we need, I think. Just more rice.
covered in
Yeah.
rice? Covered in rice, just throwing
Not-
slashes. Covered in rice.
Go for it, Zari. Or Steve, sorry. You're up, Steve.
All right. Steve's going to look at her and say, all right, Night Bright, that's about enough.
Starlight.
Yeah.
Swing at her.
Making things.
Oh my
right.
God.
Wow.
I'm going to use my bonus action with Frenzy and take another shot at her.
Love it.
Please roll better than poop.
Maybe. It's not registering that I'm clicking. What's going
There
on?
you go. That hits.
Sorry, just the first one. Sorry.
So it's
Plus,
a 9
plus
plus
2 damage with rage. Yeah.
So 9, 10, 11 damage on her as she gets slashed by you, and she says, I love the pain you caused me, Steve. It will
Let's
be
not make this weird. Nope.
thrown
nope,
back at
I'm
you
not making it weird.
tenfold.
Third pregnancy is about to happen. We had the meat guy, we had the toad, and now we got the pain girl.
Everything I take from you will be dealt back. All of a sudden, Steven Seagal, never breaking eye contact with you, Brogan. First, the one he had pushed against the table, he will immediately strike at.
Throw an elbow of death. I love it.
And
Somehow he's still managing to keep the grill going, and like none of the meat is burning during all of this.
Well, yeah, it's only been like 12 seconds. I mean, it's been 2 rounds of combat. He's the best.
in the same motion, he immediately, let me see how this goes, because he's got 2 shots that he can take. In the same motion, he crouches down, punches up to one in the jaw, and punches its head off. And secondly, a foot comes right in front of your face, Brogan, as immediately it kicks the head off the one in front of you. And he is there on one leg, crouched on the ground, one arm up in the air, one leg up in the air, never breaking eye contact with everyone in the room. Carl, Brogan, and Eugene, plus the
Oh
bartender.
my God.
Checks
Crouching
out.
Tiger, Hidden Steve.
As
He actually comes down and gets further in and just keeping direct eye contact with Steve.
he just
Like,
never
even
breaks it.
calms him down.
Eugene like sneaks up and like looks at Steve some more, and Steve's just like, "No, I got all 3 of you. You guys can't. Nope."
Yeah, there's no more.
He's still, but like one eye is looking up this way, that way, so he can keep
Oh
eye
yeah,
contact.
because everyone,
You can do
it's one of,
anything.
it's one of those
Like-
pictures that you
Like a
walk by.
chameleon.
Yeah,
Oh, promiscuous pursuing eyes or whatever it's called. Yeah.
yeah. It's like the pictures you walk by that are looking at you, no matter what angle you're on. That's Steven Seagal. He is that stoic, and that he is like that. As both ghouls are in this cart are dead, he says to you all, he says, "Up to the roof with great urgency," and just stops right there.
Oh, Steven.
Zari,
You okay there?
you're up on the roof with Steve and Starlight.
Bonus action. Can I just throw another thing of rice? I know it's going to do nothing. May I bonus action that?
All right, as you've got more rice to give, you can definitely throw a thing of
Plus
rice.
3, so 10.
I'm gonna roll a d10. If it's a 9 or above, it does. As this 9 does. What does it do? Roll me 3d6.
Okay.
The rice stab the vampire to death.
They all just pinpoint
13. I'm gonna roll a
wooden spike.
Constitution saving throw real quick. I got to beat a 12, an 8. All of a sudden, you see as you throw this rice, it has nothing to do with this rice being repulsed or this vampire being repulsed by this rice at all. The superstition you believe in is really not working. But what does work is a whole bunch of rice in the eye. As this vampire can now not see anything, as its eyes are crusted in rice, bleeding. For the next turn, it will be at disadvantage on its attacks, taking 13 damage with rice in its eyes.
Sorry, the rice maestro.
Rice works! That's my bonus. Rice works! Rice works! That's it. That's all I'm going to do.
As Starlight is like, Zari, I can't believe you done that. Why don't you just die?
Okay.
Carl, you are up.
All right. Before she goes to head up to the ladder, Carl's gonna grab some garlic from the hibachi table,
Okay.
stuff it in her gun, and then climb up and aim for the vampire and be very confused why she has rice in her eyes and she's bleeding.
Love it. They're like 2 rice cakes now. Go for it.
Let's see.
18. That hits for 11 damage. And as this thing has been coated in garlic, I don't necessarily know if D&D lore garlic would do any damage.
We're just seasoning this bitch at this point.
Really, this vampire's ready for the pressure cooker.
We can eat her.
I mean, in all honesty, she could just be allergic and be her stomach.
Right. It could be garlic makes me feel sick.
Can I use
You can
my
drop a
point?
grit for sure. The garlic doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Except season it, really.
Just gets her right in the mouth after her throat and she starts choking on it.
She smells great.
Yeah.
I want to do what was it? A volatile or a violence shot like I did the last time.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. And that would get you an extra damage dice, and you'd have to roll a d20.
Okay. 25.
So 5, awesome. That does an extra 5 after the 11. And...
Oh wait, no, it's a D10. Sorry, that's my damage dice, not D20.
Okay,
No,
so you're fine. Yeah, give me the
so
give
you
me your
don't miss
d10.
fire.
Sorry.
All good. Hey, even better. 6.
Sick.
As she takes a little more damage and looks over and says, Carl, or shall I say Carlotta, I can't see you. My name is Starlight, and I'm here to kill you.
She says her name is Scarlet.
It's not Scarlet. It's Starlight, and I'm here to kill you.
She's gonna just scream, all right, Moonbeam.
Starlight. And as you shoot Brogan, you hear a shot ring out from up on the top of the roof, and you hear all of a sudden a trickling of what sounds like rain on the rooftop.
Oh no, that sounds like Eugene's mama bear. It's time to do our thing. I'm gonna look at the open window that was shot through by Carl's awesome previous shot, and literally grab the edge of the window and try to flip myself up onto the roof, and then make an attack.
I love it. Give me an acrobatics to see how well this goes off. The only thing you have to do is not fail it. A 13, you don't fail it. It's not pretty. It's awkward, but you don't fail.
You know what? That's my whole life, so it's okay. So we flip up, and it doesn't look great. I kind of slink myself up to standing after I had all those trash cans. You know what? No one else can complain. It is what it is. And then I'm going to attempt to make a flurry of blows at this awful vampire if she is near me.
Love it.
So we spend the key point, and we're going to hit her with the old boxed ears and knee in the back shot.
Love it. As you're coming
That's
up
the best.
behind her, which you're going to have flanking at advantage now because you've got the party on one side of her and you're coming up on the other for advantage. So
that's pretty good then. 16,
16
21,
hits, 21 hits, and 15 hits. For
5,
that is
11,
5,
17.
5, 10, 17 damage as she is like, whoa, and Brogan Naked Eye. My name is Starlight and I'm here to kill you.
Yeah, your name is Goober and you're here to die. I gotcha.
No, Starlight. It's Starlight.
Yeah, whatever you say, Twinkle Star.
As
Wherever you are.
she goes immediately. She has now 1, 2, 3, 4 targets she could possibly attack. 3 within range of her. I'm gonna roll a d4. One would be Steve as she sees you and is immediately going to try and well, let me roll because she's got 2 attacks. First attack. Oh, Steve, she loves you. 2 attacks are coming out at Steve.
Come on, grapple. Try to grapple me.
No, she will. First claw is going to try and grapple, and it's not going to be 7 damage. The vampire can grapple the target. So since it's not giving you the challenge to get out, it will be your turn. You have the challenge, but this is an auto grapple, so she is holding on to you automatically. Things she can do is when she auto grapples,
Super pregnant
Try to
Steve.
bite.
she can bite. For
I'm
8,
gonna
which
be a vampire, mommy.
misses completely.
Oh my god, vampire mommy. Steve.
Oh wait, she actually didn't get to grapple you because she was at disadvantage on both attacks, right?
Oh,
So she went
Why
to
is
grapple
the
you and completely had rice in her eyes, slips on some rice on the ground, crunches, and just bumps into you, kind of almost nudging you in the neck, goes to bite your neck, but cannot get in there, as it's
I'm
just
gonna say,
biting
whoa, no means no, lady.
through. And you see on
Hey,
her
you're
face,
pretty cute, Steve.
in a mix of blood, is now beef juice that was in your beard. That is on
Yeah,
her
for
face
sure.
now.
Get down to that bartender. I'm ordering an angel shot. This lady's harassing me.
Oh, I thought for sure you were gonna have beef hanging off the side of your mouth, and she bought the beef off the side of your mouth, and then she just like whipped. She was like, "That definitely smelled like actual like human," and you were like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
no."
As
You have
Steve
no
and her
idea
Lady
what
and the
kind of food
Tramp,
I have.
literally a piece of London broil, a slab of London broil as they Lady and the Tramp it.
I mean, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's actually canon. That is what happened from this point out. Canon.
Perfect.
You Lady and the Tramp a slab of beef. As you are up, Steve. Meat in mouth.
All right. We're gonna try to roll anything over a 5. Let's say that. We're gonna
Let's
go
do
for
it.
higher
Beat
than
a
a 5
5.
today.
And he's not gonna move up on the Lady and the Tramp stuff. He's gonna
Nope. All right.
away.
Steve, you have advantage. So
Oh, I do.
You've got,
Okay,
you've got a
excellent.
flanking Brogan. So
Flanking you, bro. Flanking you.
So that's 7 on the first attack, and on the second attack, here we go. A crit, baby! Yeah!
very
Plus the lady.
nice. As
Steve did not want that kiss, and she ate half that London broil. Nobody
That's
invited her to
21.
eat half that London broil.
That's 21 points. Get her, Steve.
this isn't human. This is cow.
Why does this taste like garlic?
What did
rice?
you call me, Night Bright?
It's Starlight. My name is Starlight.
Moonbeam.
Starlight. A man in his early 50s, maybe late 40s, maybe timeless, flips onto the roof.
I was gonna say maybe looks 27.
Yeah.
My man right there.
The
Seagull.
ponytail precedes him up over the ladder.
It smells like, what would it smell like? It smells like cool water, and it smells
Me.
like, actually it smells like aqua velva. As you see
It 100%
yeah,
smells like aqua velva.
it smells like aqua velva as a movement of white moves across very slowly. Black chef pants, white chef jacket, moves across the top of the train after flipping on, and you can tell it almost looks like he's not walking anymore as he moves. And he puts his hand on Brogan's shoulder and stares both at the enemy and at Brogan and at you all at the same time at different angles. But again, it's like those eyes that are
What?
piercing. And he says,
we're facing different directions.
Yeah,
You're amazing.
he's
Steven
literally
Seagal.
You're
Behind him, and
amazing,
so he's
Mr.
still
Seagull.
looking at us.
still looking at you, and you are on the ponytail side of this.
The ponytail is piercing you with its
Yeah.
eyes.
That's a damn good ponytail.
Yeah. Looks at Brogan, puts his hand on your shoulder, and says, "I'm here to help, brother," and goes to give you a predator handshake. The full arm,
The
forearm
class.
handshake.
Oh my god, I accept. I straight dwarf from Lord of the Rings. Absolutely elbow grasp him. Like he's my
And
best friend on the planet.
He locks arms with you and holds on. And he is he is help actioning you to do an attack at the same time with you. So fluid that it might make the gods cry. That's what he's going for with you as a help action.
Oh my god, do I get the bonus action Hunter's Mark or no?
Well, when your turn comes up, you can definitely bonus action Hunter's Mark. He's giving you the help action, so not only you already have advantage, but he's going to be trying to do this with you. So,
all right, sweet. Let's get
if there
weird.
was double advantage, you would have it.
All right, sweet. Let's get weird.
So
Unarmed
Zari,
attack.
you are up, and then Carl, and then Brogan will be up. So, but he's
Alright,
holding it for you, Brogan.
I'm going to pull out my mace and dagger and attack.
Love it. As you pull out the mace, that hits, and she says, "Zari, I'm here to kill you."
Okay. Right.
Very excited about that slap.
Okay.
Quiet you,
Ryan,
Starbeam.
that just was okay.
My name.
Okay.
And as you slap her, she just keeps taking damage. And you see she is not looking that good anymore. Like, she is not looking great. Not like she's going to die anytime soon, but she is definitely not looking good. She is a stout, hardy undead folk. So as you hit, you've done some great damage. My name is Starlight. As we hit the top of the order, all of a sudden you guys are looking at the side of the train, and as you're going to line up your shot, Carl, all of a sudden everything starts shaking on the train, and you hear thud, 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 thud. And as you look to the sides of the train, you see bodies getting thrown to the side of the train as they're making impact. And as you look further on to the edge of the beyond you, I want everyone to roll me a quick perception check to see what you see in front of the train as this train is riding.
You know, as a DM, it's really unfortunate that you keep asking for skills we all suck at.
I know. I'm gonna keep it real, real shitty.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a monk that has no wisdom.
I know. That's
I've made mistakes, but
irony.
it was fun for the RP aspect.
Steve and Zari, because of the direction you're facing, you're not lining up a shot and you're not facing behind you. In the front of the train, you can see an army of undead marching on the tracks towards the train, trying to stop it. As they are starting to get caught in the front of the train, and you start to see fire getting knocked up from the front of the train as it's spewing out the front of the steam engine. And as you look into the sky, you see that face, the half a ghoul, half a beautiful young woman. And Carl, you are feeling these thuds. What do you do?
I think like Carl's gonna just take a quick look at the undead army, and be like, I feel like I know this from a different life. There's some sort of army sort of thing, dead army. That something in my life, in another life, I know what this is. Shout out to our Saturday game, and and she's just gonna aim for Moonbeam or whatever the hell her name is.
Yes,
Star-
you got it.
Sailor Moon.
Light bright.
Starlight.
Sailor
My name is
Moon.
Starlight. As you shoot, the shot goes slightly wide as it goes off to the side, and it
Can we say
bounces.
one of the undead?
What's that?
Can we say it hits one of the undead?
Oh, it goes through like 4 of the undead, but you've got an army of like 1,000 undead in front of you that are just like that are getting bashed by this train as flames are coming up from the front of it. Nice try on the shot, Brogan. You are now behind, locking arms with Steven Seagal.
As I hold arms with Steven Seagal, I look at him and I'm like, you know what, Steven? We're gonna Mad Max this shit. And I hold onto his arm and I flip up on my side doing like a human flagpole thing, and I make my 3 attacks, and I attempt to throw a forward knee, a backward kick, and then a down elbow with my flurry of blows, all while holding on to Steven Siegel.
Love it.
And we're gonna go attack 1 with advantage, crit.
Love it.
Saucy. Attack 2,
Hit.
20, not bad.
Love
attack
it.
3, 24. Oh, we're coming in hard.
Tell me how on the last hit you kill this vampire.
So I come up and I give the knee to the face. The head knocks forward. I come back. I give the kick backwards, and I see that she's reeling. And then I literally scream at the top of my lungs, "This is the Brogan's elbow!" And I jump up and I bring my left elbow down and I smash into her face as it cracks back, and her neck just gives out because she's undead. And then she just crumples over. And I'm like, the Brogan's elbow, baby.
You hear
Love
like
it.
John Cena style trumpets in the background. Ba, ba,
I mean,
ba.
And as like
Exactly.
you're doing the flagpole idea, the one thing you notice when you're done is you're still flagpoling, but you look and Steven Seagal's feet are not on the train. He is also flagpoling with you. Don't know how he did it, but he is that magical. As he stands to the side, all of a sudden you feel a thud hard. We are now out of initiative order. You feel an immediate thud as her body drops to the top of the train and falls right off the side. You feel a thud hard as everything stops. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
And not everything
this with
stops, but all of a
advantage
sudden you feel it's
or
like
without
almost a
advantage?
huge jolt with a dexterity saving throw, everyone. As you are on the roof,
Everyone.
you are
I
fine,
gain
Carlotta.
advantage,
You grab the
Steven?
top. Zari, you are fine. And Steve, you have advantage, so because of your barbarian. So you have everyone all of a sudden is able to grab on to the top of the train, as all of a sudden you start to feel it go around a bend as it's slapping into undead after undead after undead after undead, and all of a sudden you hear a scream coming from the front of the train where the conductor is, as you can tell it's a death rattle as he is falling into death. And all of a sudden, as you go, you're able to hold on to the top of the train with your fantastic rolls, by the way, your dexterity saving throws. And the train goes around a corner too fast, falls over, and all of a sudden topples to its side as you are now holding on to the top of this train as it is now skidding to a stop on its side in an ocean of undead. And that is where we end today.
No, what about Argyle and Slegnir? No!
We will find out about Argyle, Slegnir, and Steven Seagal.
He's been trading jokes the entire time.
They're like, a
And
horse
then
walks
now
into
they're
a
just like-
bar. Oh!
Oh, it was us! And then they just crush a bunch more trash cans, and they're
I'm
just
holding
Blue
on to
cows.
Eugene too. Like
They're
I have
4
one
blue
hand
cow
holding
deep.
onto the train and the other holding onto Eugene like this.
Love it. Yeah, exactly. As you're all just like grabbing onto this train sideways as it's like just sliding sideways now off the tracks.
You're a super good mom, Carl, because after I fed him, I left. I was not helpful.
You went out for
I
cigarettes?
fed that little guy, and I was
You're not
like,
this
hey,
bad.
great job, Mom. I'm leaving. I
Well,
was not helpful.
good
Hey, at least
session,
you didn't
guys.
go out for cigarettes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because then I never would have come back. But I mean, you know.
Good
how it
session,
is.
guys.
Of course.
Thank you for today. That was a wonderful experience. Great game to run. You all did amazing. So glad we went through that, and we will find out next week what happens on the journey to the I guess the World Ash, to the Ash Tree Part 3. But anything you guys want to plug or have to say?
Not at all.
Cheers.
Thanks
Hope
everyone.
everyone's
Thanks
having
everyone
fun
for
watching.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our numbers are
Thanks
growing
for
more and more
watching.
every week, guys. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for being a part of it, checking us out on Twitter, on our YouTube, Spotify, everything like that. On Twitch, we're loving doing this, and this has been a blast to be a part of. So thank everyone for this, and it's been great. Hold on to your cheeks because there's more. So I'm gonna say we'll see you next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Adventure Highway stream on Twitch. So thank you all, and have a good